What's the good word, y'all? Welcome to the New York Jets Syndicate channel. It's your boy DKB here. Today, we had former head coach Eric Mangini from back in 2008 for the New York Jets that has some advice for Robert Saleh about how he should be handling the expectations for this season, considering the fact that he was in a very same, or at least a similar situation, him acquiring Brett Favre, coming off a poorer season that failed expectations with him going at 4-12 after reaching the playoffs in his first year, and kind of what that'll look like, right? Eric Mangini ultimately didn't get the job done with Brett Favre, and he got walked out the door. And it seems like he doesn't want that same thing to happen to Robert Saleh. So let's dive into some of the advice slash commentary that he had towards Robert Saleh in this situation with Aaron Rodgers. So he says, they're getting a pissed off Aaron Rodgers, which is exactly the Aaron Rodgers you want. When he was pissed off about Jordan Love, he won the MVP. When he was pissed off about the contract, he won the MVP. When Jordan Love wasn't an issue and the contract was taken care of, not as great. Now he's pissed off. It's perfect. He goes on to say, I would say embrace it, the pressure, because it's real and it's not going away. It better work. If it doesn't, odds are someone else will try to make it work next year. Now, this isn't a new theme, right? We've had a few people that have spoken out, most notably before Eric Mangini, Ryan Leaf, who was saying that Robert Saleh is definitely coaching for his job this year after amassing all of these different pieces that should get them in the playoff picture. You take a look at Aaron Rodgers leading the helm, a quarterback that the New York Jets haven't had realistically since maybe a Chad Pennington, but definitely since Joe Namath to most other fans. You have a running back in Breece Hall who looked like one of the league's best prior to his injury. You hope he returns to form. Aaron Rodgers has already mentioned he believes that Garrett Wilson could be the number one wide receiver in the NFL. He believes Sauce Gardner could be the number one cornerback in the NFL. You have a very above average, solid group of tight ends to work with, an offensive line that's not lacking in talent, but more so health. You take at the defensive line, you have arguably the number one defensive tackle in the league, not named Aaron Rodgers, leading the way. Venom pit of pass rushers that all the way down to the third string players are talented enough to go out there and just dismiss an entire offensive line. Linebacker and safety, arguably the weakest unit, and then DJ Reed, probably the most underrated superstar in the league with the season that he was able to do. Having strong comparisons between seasons from guys like Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard, who many consider other top tier cornerbacks. So you add all of this into the mix, a third year defensively into the system. You bring in a proven coach slash offensive coordinator in Nathaniel Hackett. You surround him with Keith Carter, who's been able to produce top tier offensive line and run games. You bring in Zach Azani, who has developed a nasty wide receiver core over there for the Broncos. And you get really excited about what this team can do. But from what Eric Mangini's advice is, don't temper the expectations, feed into them. And you're getting this already from guys like CJ Mosley, matter of fact, who is inviting all of these expectations in after getting Aaron Rodgers. This is what he wants. This is the energy that he's going to feed off, what he's going to allow the defense to go up there and get fired up about. Obviously, everybody on the offensive side has got to love that they're working with Aaron Rodgers. We've had numerous quotes from all over the place, every offensive lineman, Garrett Wilson, and what it means to him, people still being starstruck. So this makes a lot of sense to me, right? I don't think Eric Mangini is mentioning anything life-altering, world-changing here. But he's the closest person to this team that would understand what Robert Saleh and company are going to go through. And while Robert Saleh has done an excellent job with the media, and I would say to a certain degree embracing those expectations, he's still tempering things, right? You still hear from some of the other offensive members, most notably Nathaniel Hackett, and as Aaron Rodgers will put it, some of the coach speak, right? Nathaniel Hackett says there's still a lot of work to do. Aaron Rodgers calls it coach speak. He says he actually likes where the team is currently, although there definitely is going to be a lot more room for work and things to get put into. But I think this is exactly what we need. I've chatted about this before. the New York Jets are always trying to fly under the radar, it seems, and surprise folks, as opposed to being the team that other people need to be concerned about. And that's probably partly due because they've never had a strong, consistent offense to go out there and trot out and feel good about, right? You've always had to have strong defensive performances, and you hope that the offense can last, put up 14 points, and then last long enough to not to give the game up in the fourth quarter. That script is going to change this season. So let me know what your thoughts are about Eric Mangini and his comments. What do you expect for this season? And do you think we should be embracing these expectations as well? Or is this a situation where you want to try to fly under the radar as best as possible, and we'll speak up once we obtain playoffs? Either way, let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll catch you guys again. Peace.